Hello, hello. I think the broadcast has started. I'm just going to check on my phone. But if it has started, welcome, welcome. I'm just trying to stream this, I think, at the same time to Twitch and to Facebook. Not Facebook, YouTube. So this is just a sort of test run for that. But I'm Will Robson, comic book artist on Spawn and Spider-Man, Deadpool, and many other things. Because, yep. Anyway, so today I'm doing a Spawn cover. Deadpool and... Yep, it looks like I'm live. Okay, good. Good. So, yeah, today I'm doing a Spawn cover. I'm trying to get this whole cover done today. This is a Christmas-themed cover. I will just turn up the pencils for now so you can see what we're working with here. So we've got Spawn, who's controlling his little Spawn minion babies. They're all dressed as reindeer. This is a Christmas-themed cover, obviously, because the book's going to be coming out late December, which I just got news about. So here we have little Spawny in his sleigh, and he's going to have a bag full of swords and guns and things, and it'll be snowing. And then the background I've super roughed in. I don't know if I'm going to use the 3D models for the background yet or not, so we shall see. Hopefully my iPad will show chat stuff. If not, I'm just going to get the chat up now, just in case I miss anything. Just give me 2 seconds. Okie dokie. So I've never really streamed to Twitch, so if anybody's watching on Twitch, I'm not sort of there. I'm just using this application on my iPad that lets me sort of ink and not focus on the actual streaming part of it, which I'm sorry about. If my fiance was here, I'd have her assist me on that, but let's just get to it. So I'm inking with a fine liner that I created. It's just sort of a singular line width, as you can see. I'm going to turn down the pencils a little bit so I can see what I'm inking a bit better. Singular line width, and then I do the final inks later on, the thin to thicks. 'Cause that's how I roll, baby. So, this is his little antlers here. So I'm on issue 3 currently of Spawn Kills Everyone. There will be 4 issues in total, with Todd McFarlane writing and me pencil and inking, and Greg Menzies on the colours. And also Todd will be inking some of the book as well, not much, like a couple of pages and a couple covers, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Todd McFarlane ink my stuff. I can't even believe I'm saying that sentence, because he's been a personal art hero for me for a very long time. So I just can't wait to see what he's going to bring to my work, because I'm sure it will be amazing. And then after Spawn, I don't have anything lined up, and I'd really like to, so hopefully I'll be hopping back over to Marvel. That would be where I really want to go back to, but I've been in talks with some people at Image, I've been in talks with people at DC, so we'll see. But yeah, Marvel is where I'd like to be the most. It's my favorite company, favorite characters. These antlers here. don't know if anybody's seen the new Solo movie, but I thought it was brilliant. I won't give any spoilers, so don't worry. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was full of fan service for people that are casual fans or for people that are die-hard fans. There was lots of little Easter eggs in that film. That was great for everybody. And I would happily see a sequel in the future if they ever made it. I don't think they will, but I would definitely watch one. I would love to work on something Star Wars. I did a Star Wars cover maybe 1 year ago for the 40th anniversary, which was awesome. So thank you very much, Heather Antos, who hooked me up with that. I appreciate that. It was a big life sort of achievement for me to work on anything to do with that franchise. Franchise is my favorite thing ever. It's meant so much to me for many years. So that was really cool. Okay, so we finished the basic line on. Oh, I just realized I've made his hands black. Shouldn't have done that because he's not black. What am I doing? Oopsie poopsie, am I right? Okay, so we gotta fix that. So I'm guessing I just do this and then go back in. So I'm just re-adding the lines in his hand since I messed up. If you hear any snorting, that's my dog asleep on the sofa, which I know has become sort of a big part of my streams. So I really would like to get this whole cover done today, but we'll see how we go, because there is quite a lot going on in this cover. I did a cover yesterday as well. It's been cover week. And I was going to stream it, but I ended up not. Only because I wanted to watch TV while I was working, and I can't really do that when I stream. So we'll just sit in silence, drawing happy lines. Yeah, like I said, nothing lined up after Spawn. Which it can be a bit nerve-wracking, to be honest, because I'm still a freelance artist. So, since I started, I've had a job, whether it's, you know, even before Marvel, doing indie work. I've always had work lined up for the past, wow, I guess 4 years now. And this is the only time where I'm coming close to the end of something and I don't have something lined up. Because usually I'm working on about 5 different projects at once, or a bunch of different covers, etc. Right now, I'm just doing Spawn, and I'm a bit scared. I'm sure something will pop up. Hopefully, otherwise I'll go hungry and I'll be living on the streets. So I'm using the curve tool here just to get the smoothest line possible. Keep adjusting how I'm sitting because I'm not comfy right now. I pretty much work exclusively in my living room now. I have the iPad Pro, I can just work anywhere, and it's much nicer to lie down and draw than it is to lean over a desk. I've got a whole office upstairs, and I really like my office because it's covered in, you know, inspiring artwork that I like. And it's my space to draw, but I don't have a sofa up there. If I had a sofa up there, I'd be up there. And my dog likes me being on the sofa because she likes to cuddle in my lap as well. So I hope you guys are going to pick up this book. It's been a lot of fun. Remind me and I'll show you a couple of teaser pages and things like that. It's going to be interesting to see what word balloons McFarlane puts over it, because I'm working Marvel method, which means I get a plot outline instead of a full script, and I work off of that. And he's also given me a bit of creative liberty to translate his words and stuff. So there's a couple little scenes that I've tweaked that he's written, just because I thought they'd be a bit more fun to draw. The nice thing about working with McFarlane is he's very conscious about the artist, because obviously he's had his trials and tribulations being an artist with certain people. I just turn the snowflakes off that I put in so I can see all the anatomy that I put down. I've drawn so many of these little cute Spawn guys over the past year. I haven't been working on this full time for a year, though. I've only been working full time on this book since, I guess, February, I think it was, when I wrapped up all my other projects. Got to add a little belt to him because I'm putting little reindeer belts on him. Just check chat, just in case I'm missing anything. Nope.
That one's in the chat.
I get it. I get it, guys. Oh, there we go. Hey there. It's really good to see you. I have a strange question. Is your cute dog sleeping? Yes, she is. I don't know if you can hear her, but she is snorting in the background. She pretty much sleeps until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So she sleeps all night, and then she gets up, she has breakfast, she runs around, has a little play for about 40 minutes, and then she's pretty much asleep until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, when she gets up, she has a bit more food, she goes outside, and then when my fiance comes home from work, she goes insane, and then she's full of energy, and then she falls asleep again, and then I take her on a late night walk, and then she's lost all her energy, and then she goes to bed, but then she wakes up in the middle of the night, and she likes to chew chew toys on my feet and wake me up as chew toys start scratching my feet. And the chaos ensues. But I love it to bits. She's my little baby. She is very cute. And she's very little for her breed. Because she was the runt of the litter. And she actually wasn't... They thought that she wasn't going to survive the childbirth, but she made it through. So she's kind of like a dwarf French bulldog, so a mini French bulldog. I'm working right now on Spawn Kills Everyone. This should be the cover, I think, to issue 1, since it comes out at Christmas time. Or this is a variant, I'm not sure. But it's Christmas themed, and I gotta tell you, it's very weird to draw something Christmassy in June. Maybe people can replay this around Christmas time. I love doing covers. Doing covers is I would say, is the best part of the job. You draw one big image, you put a lot of work and effort into it. You can usually get a cover done in a day to 2 days, and they pay more than doing interiors. And it's just more fun, like, you know, getting to draw a cover. Like, I got to do a Star Wars cover, like I said before, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover, which I think I filmed for the channel. And you just get to draw these characters in one cool pose, and then you move on with your life. You don't have to draw them sitting in a coffee shop talking or out of costume or anything like that. You just get to draw the fun part. You know, it makes me feel like a kid again, just like sketching in a sketchbook. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna draw one really cool image of Batman. It's like pretty much doing that, but getting paid, which is always the best. Because I gots to get paid. So obviously, the reindeer in front has the nose because it's Rudolph. Or if this is copyright infringement, then it's Randolph. Randolph the red-nosed Spawny. Don't ask me how these antlers stay on as they're flying. I don't know the physics behind that, and don't ask me how they're even flying, because they don't have the ability to fly. This is comics, people. It's make-believe. Just enjoy it. Do 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 do. Mammy, 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 mammy. Mammy, mammy, mammy. I am an inking spawn now, having a very good time. Inking up the spawn now, and I can even make it rhyme. I've been pestering Todd to try and get to do a cover on the main series, as that's a big life goal of mine, but he doesn't respond to those emails. He's probably like, I think your stuff's too cutesy. I want to draw the main spawn. Mama, 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 mommy. So again, I'm off the cuff. I'm adding these little things around them to show that they're attached somehow. So E3's going on for you gamers out there. I was very excited to see that they're finally doing a remake of Resident Evil 2, which is one of my favorite video games of all time. So I'm very much looking forward to playing that. So when I first was given this spawn idea, the briefing was just like, oh yeah, it's Spawn and a bunch of Spawn babies. And the other games from E3? Well, I'm gonna watch the Nintendo today. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm a big fan of Nintendo. I hope that they announce the new Pokemon game, not this one that's coming out that's like the remake of Yellow, although I'm very much looking forward to that. But I want to see this open world RPG Pokemon that we've been sort of promised for the Switch. I would love a new Star Fox game. And I would love a new Mario Golf game with the move controls, like Wii Sports type golf. That would just be a dream. I would play that game all the time. But other exciting announcements, I'm excited to hear that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to be focusing on the Clone Wars. That should be a lot of fun. I'm excited that they announced a new Star Wars game, even though it's there's no really news about it. I almost wet myself when they announced that Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. I was coming when I heard that. So I'm really looking forward to that, whenever the hell that's ever going to come out. But Fallout 76 sounds interesting. I'm a big Bethesda Studios fan. Pretty much play all their sort of main games. I'm not really of a lot. I watched a playthrough of The Last of Us and I really enjoyed it, but I haven't actually played the game, so I haven't watched any of the Last of Us coverage. And I couldn't tell if the battle, because I'm a big Battlefront fan, I couldn't tell if there was a new Battlefront announced that's World War II, or if there was just a new DLC for Battlefront, because I would love to play, or I'm talking about Battlefield actually. I would love to play a World War II Battlefield. Like the old days. And that's about it, really. Can't think of really anything else that tickled my fancy. I don't own an Xbox, so I can't get too excited about Xbox stuff. What about yourself? What were you excited about, or are excited to hear more about? Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know anything about that. I know Bethesda announced a Wolfenstein VR cyber. It's called cyber something. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I'll definitely get that because I got PlayStation VR for my birthday, which was about a month ago, and I really love it. It's good fun. But no, I don't know what the cyberpunk stuff is. I also play a lot of WWE 2K17, or 18 I should say. So I'd like something about that, but they never really at E3. They need to fix that game, because that game is so broken. It's as broken as Matt Hardy. That's for all you wrestling fans out there. Crazy of the Witcher. I've never played any Witcher game. I really should, as I think they always look pretty cool. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know much about that studio, so Bethesda, that's my jam. Nintendo is my jam. And since EA owns Star Wars and Battlefield, they're my jams as well. Yeah, that's why I don't know it. But I would love a new Star Fox game. Like I said, that would be great fun. Because Star Fox really needs to come back. I also thought, I've never really played a Kingdom Hearts game, but I thought the new one looked really good. The trailer for it, so I think I'll pick that up. It looked really fun. And the graphics and the gameplay looked awesome, so I think that'll be... I've played the first one years and years ago, but I think I'll definitely have to re-look into that franchise. Because I like Square Enix, I like Disney. Well, I don't really like Disney, but I like some of the stuff they own. Pixar, etc. I think what sold me was the Toy Story stuff, where I was like, I want to go hang out in Toy Story World. But yeah, so far my favourite thing has been the announcement of Resident Evil 2 Remake. And it looks dark as well. It looks scary. I hope we get some Skybound stuff. I don't know if Skybound's there. But I heard that there... Well, I've seen trailers for it, that Walking Dead VR game that's going to be coming out. That is right up my street. I'm a huge zombie fan. Anything zombies I'm really into, so hopefully we'll actually get some gameplay from that, because the cinematics have been really awesome. As long as it's not too poop your pants scary, otherwise I won't be able to play it in VR. I'm very much a wimp. I played the Shark Tank VR, and I nearly pooped myself. It was very scary. And then I have Rush of Blood, the where you're sort of in a minecart in VR, and you have guns, and there's ghosts and spooky stuff. I played that for a bit, but then it scared me too much, so I had to take my headset off. I also there's an Ace Combat game that's been announced that's going to come out in VR. That would be sick. And I really want a good racing game in VR because Drive Club. I'm sorry for anybody that doesn't give a crap about video games. I'm just spouting on about it, but Drive Club VR is like, it plays really well. It's good fun, but the graphics are atrocious. It looks worse than PlayStation 1 graphics. Like, they're really bad in the VR headset. And then on the other side of it, you got Gran Turismo, and the graphics are amazing and exactly what you want from the game. And the gameplay's good, except you can only play like a couple maps, and you only race against one other racer, and that's like, no, I want to play a full story thing like in Drive Club VR. I wish the two of there was a game that was just combine both of those. That would be great. And hopes for Nintendo. I really hope they announce this freaking online service and they start chatting more about the release of retro games on it, because yeah, that virtual console really needs to start happening, right? I want to get me some old school Mario parties and stuff like that. That'd be dope. What about you? What are you? Is it just the cyber things that you're interested in? Just click save. Animal Crossing, that would be cool if we got a new one of those for the Switch. They really need to bring back Mario Golf though. They haven't made a Mario Golf on a main console since the GameCube. Not a gamer, but love new things in the game. It's just, I get it. I used to always say, oh, I'm not a gamer, but I think in the past year I definitely have become one, because I've started collecting retro video games and things like that. And I got the Switch as well. Oh yeah, I hope they announce a new Mario Party. That would be great. Definitely one of my favorite game series, the Mario Party series. Some big snores. And this is a lot of reindeer. I'm still not sure. I don't know if I'm even going to have houses in the back. I might just leave it like this. That would save me time, and it might make the image less busy. As cool as it would be to have a city down there. Well, we'll see. as we go along. So I really need to get this done today and hand it in to be coloured. Yeah, so they showed the new Spider-Man game there as well, which has been in development for way too long. And the gameplay looks fun, but man, and the graphics are good, but the characters look terrible. Spider-Man's costume looks really dumb. It looks like he's got a skeleton on him. And all the villains, like, they were just that... I don't know what's up with outside sources taking Marvel content and just making them all mecha and stuff. Like, Rhino was a big robot, and so was Scorpion, and even the Vulture as well. And I was just like, this is lame. Not my thing. I'll play it because it's an open world Spider-Man game, and it's about time we got a new one of those, but still. Yeah, I agree. Like, all the fighting and stuff looks great and fun and jumping off of stuff, but if the content isn't good, then it won't last. You know, the Arkham games, they had great gameplay and they had fantastic stories behind them. That's what made them become so popular. They also, I don't know who's writing the game, but I mean, they had Paul Dini write those Batman games, and that was the best decision you could make. Paul Dini's co-creator of Harley Quinn, and a big sort of head of the Batman the Animated Series. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, we got 5 reindeer done. So we've got 2 more to go, I believe. Yep. And then we can move on to spawn. I have to add chains in. So we'll add the chains after that. Do the chains and then we'll do spawn. How do you like the new Spider-Man animation? Oh, I thought that looked fantastic. I was very impressed with the look of that. I love middle-aged Peter Parker. Me and my brother for a while were working on a middle-aged Peter Parker story. But the animation was extremely smooth. And the film just looks like I don't know. It just looks fun. Nice to have some fresh content rather than just the same old, same old. Nice to see Miles, Gwen, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by that. I wasn't expecting the quality to be so good on that. Yep, me too. I think it's great. Yeah, I like the little, when they do the captions. I noticed they were doing captions with it. I thought that was pretty cool. And I don't know too much about Miles Morales, Spider-Man, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Are you still working on your iPad as a main tool? Yep, I am. I'm working on it currently. I have not gone back to using my Wacom Cintiq since I've had it. I think the Wacom Cintiq, I would say it's a better drawing tool, definitely. But the freedom that you get from the iPad it's unbeatable. Like I said, I'm working in my living room now. Last night I was working nights, wrapping up a cover. So instead of having to go up into my office and slave over my desk and be away from my fiance, I was able to work on the sofa and be able to watch TV while I worked, and yeah, it's a lot more sociable. Oops. I clicked on your chat so I can see it. Hey, I want to say thanks. Your videos on how you practiced drawing found references, so they have been a great help to me starting out. No worries, Johnny White. I'm very happy that they help. That's sort of the whole reason why I do these streams. Is when I was getting going on art, any content on how to get better or how to break in and all that stuff I craved. So I'm always happy to help steer people in the right direction with that stuff. And everyone, you got to remember, what worked for me doesn't work for everybody. Just the way I, just you know, everyone learns differently. Everyone inks differently. Like I said, like I couldn't just hop in right now and fully ink this. I had to do this line art style first. It's the only way I can sort of create the form and then create everything else. I've tried just going straight into sort of final inks, and I'm terrible at it, and the product looks worse always, so yeah, this is the way I like to do it. Although I'd much rather just jump in and do final inks. Oh yeah, sorry for my yawning. Nearly done with the reindeers. Like I said, I really hope that I can finish this whole cover on this stream. That would be great. I got plenty more work to do this week. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to help with anything that you need help with. More than happy to. Otherwise, you can just listen to my dog snore. So what I'm doing here is a auto action I've created for myself that adds an outline. This may be something you've answered before, but did you start out doing digital art, or did you transition to it? Well, I always was a drawer in notebooks and stuff like that, but drawing comics, I started traditionally, but I wasn't very good. And then I got a gig to draw a comic for Toyota, my first comic book gig. My first gig besides me just drawing comics myself. At the time I was just drawing my own thing. And I just didn't think I was up to snuff, and because my inking was super wobbly traditionally. And I've been watching videos of Freddie Williams inking using his method, and I've been watching videos of Jonathan Rector on YouTube inking with the Freddie Williams method, and I thought, hey now, you're a rock star, get your game on, go play. No, I was thinking I should try that. I think that's the best way forward, and it was a good way for me to quickly be able to reference stuff like that. So I got a Wacom Bamboo. That was my first tablet. You know, one of the ones where you can't see the screen. You look up at the computer as you draw on the tablet. So I was using that. And if you go back in my channel, actually, I think some of the first videos are me inking in a very old way. I used to just use the curve tool to ink because that's how much I didn't trust my art. And when I saw the curve tool, I was like, oh man, I can get like a perfect line every time. I'm gonna do that. So that's how I started out. And really, I've just been drawing digitally ever since. I'm far more comfortable drawing digitally than I am traditionally, because professionally, obviously, I've been drawing far more digitally than traditionally. Though I love traditional, I do sometimes, like, I'll print out these, like the inks they are now, and then I'll finish it off with nibs and dip pens and stuff like that. But this is where This is where I'm the most comfortable. I also just think it's faster. I love making things like custom brushes. I love using 3D models. Anything to make my job easier, because it's a very labor-intensive job. So to have things like 3D models, to have things like brushes that instantly make shapes and stars and things like that, and just to be able to switch between tools with a click of the button is best. And obviously the most important thing is having an undo button. Oh my god, the undo button. It's a blessing and a curse, because it's great to be able to undo if you make a huge mistake, but since I was learning to draw digitally, I had the crux of always having the undo button on hand, and I would use it all the time. But if you watch me now, I rarely use it anymore. But that's just through years of building up confidence and skill with drawing. I don't try to get a super perfect line. Like you can see, like right here, like that's not perfect. Am I going to fix it? No, because you're not going to see that in the final product. Sometimes colorists will clean that type of stuff up, but nah. Alright, we're going to save since we got our little reindeers done. Now I'm going to do chains. Hey, oh, we'll go here. It looks super efficient. I've messed around on my Surface Pro 4, but figured I would practice tradition more and wait on that learning curve. Yeah, well, I mean, either way is good. No, I don't want to stop broadcasting. As long as you're drawing every day, all day, that's fine. I mean, when I was learning to draw, my goal was to fill up one sketch pad back-to-back pages every single month, and that helped me a lot. And that was drawing traditionally, and I used to love doing that. I wish I still did that. I just don't have as much time to study anymore because I'm too busy trying to make that money. Once you start getting the gigs, then you have less time to self-improve your work, which is a shame. But I do a little studying every now and then. And I'm always looking at other people's artwork. I'm always studying, just I don't really study by drawing anymore. I study a lot by gawping and looking and picking stuff up where I'm like, oh, that's a cool way to do that, or this, that, or the other. So this is the way I draw chains. They look like just a bunch of little sausages, but it works in the long run. Sausages. If someone wanted to follow comics you're currently working on, which titles should this person looking for? Well, Spawn's not out yet, but I would pick up my run on the Great Lakes Avengers. That was pretty... I drew every issue except for one. Sausage. Good to see more people coming into the stream as well. So I would pick up my work on Great Lakes Avengers. You can get a trade paperback of that. There's also a trade paperback of my work on Spider-Man and Deadpool. And what else? Those are the two I would recommend the most. I pick up Thanos Annual that just came out. I only did a couple pages in it, but it was the best comic book story I've ever been able to draw. I really liked the story. I worked with Ryan North, who writes Squirrel Girl. I think he's an amazing writer, and I would love to work with him more. But besides that, I've also worked on Secret Warriors, I've worked on Royals, worked on a bunch of stuff, but the ones I recommend the most would be Great Lakes Avengers, definitely. Thank you. It's a shame that book got canned, but it just wasn't getting the sales that upper management wanted it to. Thank you very much. They were my two favorite characters to draw. I was actually looking at some of the art from that book today, and I was like, oh man, there's a lot of great stuff in there, and there's a lot of bad stuff in there. I've definitely improved in some senses, but in some other spots, I think I need to go back to the mentality of drawing a certain way. I've had to draw a lot of chains, as you can imagine, drawing Spawn. In terms of just looking at my art though, I've done a ton of covers. I've done a lot of covers, so I would definitely recommend, I don't even know where you can look that up, but just try and find somewhere that has a list of the covers I've done. It's not a proper image without chains and pouches. I haven't drawn any pouches, to be honest. Drawn a lot of chains though. Like I said, my chains are sausages. Just going to add white behind the chains. So that nothing can touch it. So we get our chains, save. And now I get to do the fun part, which I've been looking forward to, which is doing Spawn, because Spawn is my favorite one to draw. He's a cute little guy with a lot of emotional range. So let's get to Spawny. Oh. Seem to be frozen, that's not a good start. Here we go. Oh, still frozen. There we go. So I got him with a little bomb here. I think I could draw Spawn in my sleep now. He's in practically every panel of the new book. And you're probably seeing in the issue 1, I was still finding my footing with the character. I didn't really know exactly the way I wanted to draw him yet, but I've definitely figured it out now. And it wasn't just me, Todd as well. He wanted the character to look a certain way. I don't think in the end I've drawn the character the way that he was picturing him, but I'm drawing the character the way I picture him, and that's gonna make the art better, in my humble opinion. I'm switching to a fine liner that has less stabilization on it now, so I can do some chunky shapes. Trying to show his woolliness around his hat here. Again, if you guys have more questions, please feel free to ask. I didn't even realize I drew him with his cape on. It's gonna be a lot of red. Look at this lunatic. I think this is coming along nicely. Some more chains. More hot dogs in this case. Please, someone ask a question. Have I drawn any other image characters? No. This is my first image book. So I have not, sadly. I would love to do a variant cover for The Walking Dead. That would be awesome, because I freaking love The Walking Dead. Like I said, I love to do a cover on the main Spawn title as well. Because I can draw Big Boy Spawn. I tell you what though, as much as I've enjoyed this book, I'm very much looking forward to going back to drawing a regular book, just because I've been drawing a lot of cutesy characters, like the Spawn right here, the babies, and I'm a bit chibied out. I need some more real muscles back in my life. Southern Bastards, that would be another good one as well. Big fan of Southern Bastards. Oh, my dog's awake. You okay, baby girl? You awake now? Hi. She's getting up. She's having a big stretch. Oh, big stretch. Stretching out. She's now rolling around on the floor. She likes to roll her back along the floor and make funny noises. If you guys saw my story in Thanos, then on page 2 of my story, in the background, you can see a little drawing of my dog that I did. Everyone is shocked to see Thanos, but Luna isn't. She don't care. You said Ant-Man's getting a lot more attention? What do you mean by that? Would I like to draw Ant-Man? Sure. I wouldn't be super excited to draw Ant-Man, but I wouldn't mind it. The problem is I just know that book would get cancelled immediately. You'd have to have somebody, a writer on the book, that would really change up the lore of Ant-Man in a way to get people really excited. Kind of like what Tom King did with that Vision book, where he, Vision had that robot family. That was a fantastic read and a fantastic book. That's my number one goal. I'd love to work with, someone who is taking a book and making it something that will be around for a long time. Like, people will always remember that Vision book. And the Venom right now, that's going really well. I want to work on something that's big, something that people will remember, something that when I'm an old man at a Comic-Con, they'll bring up, people will bring up that comic to sign because it just was that good. I'm not saying I want to, obviously I'd love to be a part of something as big as, The Dark Knight or Watchmen. That would be great, but realistically, that's probably not going to happen. At least not until I have full control, because I'm a genius, and I could write just as good as Frank Miller. No, I'm kidding. But, I want to work on something that has a bit of longevity to it. It doesn't get canned immediately. And is something that fans really respond to. That would be great. Though I'm sure that's, pretty much what anybody working in this industry would like. Let's see, my biggest goals are to have a self-published book at Image Comics. Something I've written myself. Whether I draw it or not is not a question, but something that I've written. I'd like to draw an issue of Amazing Spider-Man. And I'd like to write an issue of Batman. Those are my big wants. I also wouldn't mind getting to draw an issue of the main Spawn series, but I know Todd, he said a million times how, because I would want to bring it back to the Greg Capullo days, but McFarlane's talked about how he just wants to continuously progress his book, not play on nostalgia.